on my computer. It said, "You promised you wouldn't forget me." The file appeared on my desktop 3 weeks ago with no explanation. I'd been cleaning up my computer, organizing folders and deleting old documents, when I noticed something called Emma_memories.txt that I didn't remember creating. At first, I assumed it was something I'd saved and forgotten about. The name Emma meant nothing to me, I didn't know anyone by that name. But when I tried to delete it, instead of the usual confirmation dialogue, a message appeared that made my heart skip. "You promised you wouldn't forget me." I stared at the screen, certain I was seeing things. I clicked OK and tried again. Same message. Different wording this time. "Please don't erase me, Jason." It knew my name. I opened the file instead of deleting it. Inside was a single line of text. "Do you remember the girl with the yellow umbrella?" No. I didn't remember any girl with a yellow umbrella. I searched my memory, childhood friends, college classmates, co-workers, even strangers I'd met briefly. Nothing. But something about the phrase felt familiar, like a word on the tip of my tongue that wouldn't quite surface. I left the file alone and forgot about it for a few days. When I tried to delete it again, a new message appeared. "You used to call me Sunshine." Sunshine. The nickname triggered something, a faint echo of recognition I couldn't quite grasp. This time, opening the file revealed more text. "Do you remember the girl with the yellow umbrella? We met at the coffee shop on Riverside Avenue during the thunderstorm. You said my umbrella was like a portable sun. That's why you called me Sunshine." I drove to Riverside Avenue that evening, though I wasn't sure why. There was indeed a coffee shop, Brewster's Cafe, but I'd never been inside. At least, I didn't think I had. The barista, a girl with purple hair and multiple piercings, looked up when I entered. "Hey, you're back," she said cheerfully. "Haven't seen you in months. How's Emma?" "Emma?" My stomach dropped. "What Emma?" The barista's smile faded. "Emma? Your girlfriend? You guys used to come in here all the time. Always sat at that corner table by the window." I looked at the table she indicated. 2 chairs, a small surface scattered with coffee ring stains. It meant nothing to me. "I think you have me confused with someone else," I said. "No way. You're Jason, right? You drive the blue Honda? You always ordered large coffee, black, and Emma got chai tea with extra foam." I did drive a blue Honda. I did drink black coffee. But I had no memory of ever being in this coffee shop with anyone named Emma. That night, I tried deleting the file again. The message this time was longer. "The doctors said the accident might affect your memory. I made you promise to keep something to help you remember me if that happened. You saved this file the night before the surgery. Please don't delete our only connection." My hands trembled as I read. What accident? What surgery? I'd never had any major medical procedures. But as I thought about it, I realized I couldn't clearly remember anything from about 6 months ago. Everything before that felt fuzzy, like trying to recall a dream. I opened the file. More text had appeared. "Do you remember the girl with the yellow umbrella? We met at the coffee shop on Riverside Avenue during the thunderstorm. You said my umbrella was like a portable sun. That's why you called me Sunshine. We dated for 8 months. You were going to propose on Valentine's Day. But the car accident happened first." My chest tightened. I grabbed my laptop and opened my browser history, scrolling back months. Nothing seemed familiar until I found repeated visits to a jewelry store website with searches for engagement rings. I called the store. "Mr. Davidson." The salesperson said immediately when I gave my name. "How are you feeling? We've been wondering about you since the accident." "What accident?" "The car crashed back in March. You and your girlfriend were both hospitalized. We heard you had some head trauma. Is Emma okay? We still have the ring you ordered if you'd like to pick it up." I hung up, my mind reeling. I found my insurance records online and discovered hospital bills I didn't remember, 3 weeks in intensive care for traumatic brain injury. That night, the file contained our entire relationship. First date, coffee at Brewster's during a storm. You loved how I hummed while reading. I loved how you made terrible jokes to cheer me up. Our first kiss was in the rain outside your apartment. You said I tasted like sunshine. We adopted a cat together. Mr. Whiskers. I moved in after 5 months. You were nervous about introducing me to your parents, but they loved me immediately. Your mom said I was the best thing that ever happened to you. As I read, flashes of memory began surfacing. A yellow umbrella. Laughter over coffee. A small white cat with green eyes. A woman with dark hair who hummed while she read. Emma. I remembered Emma. The next morning, I called the hospital where I'd been treated. Mr. Davidson was in a severe accident, the nurse explained. His girlfriend Emma Morrison was. She didn't survive. The trauma affected his memory centers. We warned him he might experience significant amnesia about the months leading up to the accident. Emma was dead. I'd forgotten the woman I loved because my injured brain couldn't bear to remember losing her. That evening, I found photos on my computer that I'd somehow overlooked, hundreds of pictures of Emma and me together. Her smile, her yellow umbrella, our cat, moments of happiness I'd completely erased from my conscious mind. The file grew longer each night, Emma's memories filling in the gaps my brain had created. You blamed yourself for the accident, but it wasn't your fault. The other driver ran the red light. You held my hand in the ambulance. You whispered, "Don't leave me." I whispered back, "I'll find a way to stay." This file is how I kept that promise. I stopped trying to delete the file. Instead, I read it every night, letting Emma's memories restore what my trauma had taken away. 6 months later, I can remember almost everything. Our relationship, the accident, the overwhelming grief that my brain tried to protect me from by forgetting her entirely. The file still appears on my desktop daily, sometimes with new memories I'd forgotten, sometimes just to say she loves me. I'll never try to delete it again. Because some promises are too important to break. Even when your own mind tries to make you forget them. Mr. Whiskers, our cat, still sleeps on Emma's side of the bed. He remembers her too. And sometimes, on rainy days, I take her yellow umbrella and sit in our corner table at Brewster's, drinking black coffee and remembering the girl who tasted like sunshine. Memory is fragile. But love finds a way to preserve what matters most. Even in a simple text file that refuses to be deleted. I tried to delete a file on my computer.